Hey friends, it's Genevieve. Wow, there are a whole lot of lore spell changes for the fall 2025 update. Let's go through all of the different myth lore spell changes. You know you all wanted to see it. It's Grendel's Amends. Wow. It did have two paths previously. It did 745 heal at tier 1, and then upgrading it to max got it to 805 on the top path, which was no PvP, no advanced combat. Why not? It's just a heal for yourself. Oh my god. Whatever. Then the bottom path was 2 armors at 525, maxing out at 2 armors at 550. Now with this one, the bottom path has stayed the same. However, this heal is now almost double what it used to be. That's some crazy grape nuts right there. Wow. Love it. Don't change a thing, darling. Splashy. Oh my god. Okay, it had 2 paths before. Tier 1 did damage. The upper path continued along that and got more and more damage as you upgraded it. The lower path stole 1 positive ward of some kind, including armor. Yes, it steals armor. Yay, Splashquatch. And then did way less damage. But sometimes stealing that armor was so sweet. So all of this has changed. The top and middle paths are no PvP, no advanced combat. So, yeah, it's interesting what they did with this. I don't know. They just couldn't think of a mechanic for the middle. I don't know. So here's how it goes. Splashquatch is 2 pips and a myth pip doing damage. That continues on the top path. On the middle path, the damage goes up a lot, but now it costs 3 pips and a myth pip. I think if you're doing that, maybe give me like 85% accuracy, just saying. And then the bottom path steals up to 3 positive wards. Yay. It said 1 previously on there. Now it does that and then does starting out at 340 myth damage. That's in the middle of the maxed out tier 5 Splashquatch previously. So I will say I like what they did with this. I don't really care about the 3 pip one because hello, sun enchant spells, just saying. Keeper of the Flame. Before, it only had 1 path. It did myth damage and put a chromatic 35% trap of the caster. So it didn't matter if you were myth school or not. It would put your school's trap on the target. Tier 1 and the entire top path is exactly the same, except for the fact that the accuracy is at 80% instead of 75. Again, I never understood why we needed to have less accuracy because it was a lore spell. Like, what? Anywho, middle path, a lot less damage, but now the chromatic trap is 70%. The bottom path, way less damage, although it's not quite half. Now it puts 50% chromatic of the caster traps onto the target. So if you are a death wizard and you cast Keeper of the Flame, it'll do 235 myth damage and then put 50% death traps onto the target. Whew, nice. Ninja pigs. This one also used to only have 1 path, and it used to just do damage. Now, that is only the top path option, and that is no PvP, no advanced combat. However, you can choose the middle path, which does a lot less damage, but puts 2 55% myth traps on, or you can pick the bottom path, which is way less, like half of damage of tier 1, but does 50% myth traps. I'm pretty sure you can potent trap that. You know why? Because this is not a condition. It just puts the trap on. That's kind of awesome. I don't know. I think that's a little bit low for 4 pips for the damage. If I'm going to potent trap that, I would probably use the middle path if I was going to do that. But maxing out Ninja Pigs at 735, and then you can basically turn it into 1035 with a 300 Sun Enchant spell. 4 pips and a myth pip. Wow. Nice. Athena. Okay, Athena used to just be 1 path and do damage and then put minus 35% shield on yourself. Tier 1 and the entire top path are identical to the original path, except now it's 80% accuracy instead of 75. It'll still cost you 3 pips and a myth pip, but now the middle path does a lot less damage, almost 100 less, but now puts 65% tower shield on yourself, and the bottom path does way less and puts 260% tower shields on you. That's pretty sweet, actually. Hero of Khrysalis. This one one used to be one path doing a whole lot of damage, but it was 2 deferred damage overtimes that totaled 830 and detonated after 5 rounds. I am so happy to not see that. I think by now you all know how I feel about deferred damage. I hate it, I despise it. It needs to go away from my deck. Now it's doing a whole lot of damage and then a small damage over time, 210 over 3 rounds. By the way, neither path of this is no PvP, no advanced combat. That's so nice for this. However, I did notice that the amounts for this right here, 840, 50, 60, 80, these are the exact same numbers from the original path. However, it is still 2 overtimes and it's still 5 rounds, but now it is no longer deferred. Thank you, I hate it. Beautiful, beautiful. And the top path is going to be damage and damage over time all the way over. The initial hit is the one that will increase as you level it up. The damage over time will not change as it goes. However, when you boost these with Sun Enchant spells, it will separate that damage increase between the initial hit and the damage over times. Very nice. I like that one. Very nice. Anything that gets rid of deferred damage is good for me. Oh, Wreckin Ettin. Again, it used to be one path. It removed 3 positive wards. Those also include absorbs or armor, then did myth damage. So it seems that tier 1 and the top path are identical to the previous one, and now the bottom path, which is PvP and advanced combat available, removes up to 5 positive wards and then does a whole lot of myth damage. However, it costs 4 pips and a myth pip instead of 2 pips and a myth pip. That's really hard to choose that one. However, I don't do PvP, so I'll probably stick with this. It's bombastic. Really fantastic. That's it for Myth. Thank you so much, everyone, for checking out all of these different lore spell changes. Let me know if you have any questions or what you think about the changes to these beloved spells of ours, and we will see y'all real soon. Bye-bye.